One of the things that I talk about in the new book is an argument that I had with a police officer several years ago about stalking. And when I was being stalked and it was like the height of the police investigations and it was really chaotic and really hard, I had this really terrible phone call with a police officer who just made the wildest comments about being stalked. And he gave me this analogy of why he believes victims of stalking are actually bringing stalking on themselves, and that it's not actually the stalker's fault, and that the victim should make changes to their life in order not to get stalked, which, as you can imagine, did not go down well with me at all. So I was talking to him about my, I suppose, like, part of my experience of being stalked is not helped by the fact that I have a public profile. So a lot of these conversations eventually go down the route of like, why don't you just delete all your social media? Why don't you just not do public appearances? Why don't you just not go on the TV? Why don't you da 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 da? And it's just like, no, like, I'm sorry, but I have to have a job. I have to still have a life. I still have businesses to run. I still have things I need to do. I still have responsibilities and liabilities, right? So it was going down this route, this conversation was. And then he just was like, listen, let me stop you there. He was like, if a celebrity chooses to go into Asda and then they get harassed and stalked around Asda and somebody follows them outside of Asda and shouts abuse at them, whose fault is that? And I was like, the person harassing and stalking the celebrity. And he was like, no, it's the celebrity's fault for choosing to go to Asda because they could have done it online. And I was like, no. I was like, the law is that celebrity could, if they wanted to, go to Asda all fucking day, every day, if they wanted to. Nobody has a right to harass or stalk them or shout abuse at them. And like, that's the law. And he was like, no, they have to accept responsibility for the fact that they chose to go to Asda. And if people choose to behave like that towards them, they put themselves in that position. And I was getting madder and madder with this copper on the phone. And I was like, no, there's no law against the celebrity going to Asda. There's a law against stalking, harassment and verbal abuse. Like, these things are illegal. The celebrity being like, I need to quickly nip into a supermarket is not illegal. And anyway, we went round and round and round. I could not get sense out of this police officer at all. He kept saying to me that, like, if a celebrity's going into a supermarket and if somebody follows them, it's their own fault. If somebody follows them into the car park, it's their own fault. If somebody says something horrible to them outside the supermarket, it's their own fault. And that basically they should have stayed at home and that they should have done their shopping online. And in the end, I was like, I just had to put the phone down because I was so angry. And especially, I would say, as a psychologist who trains police officers, having a conversation like that was just mind-blowing. That when did this conversation happen? Like 2024? And this guy was absolutely certain he was right. Like, he was so angry that I was arguing back that partway through the conversation he started calling me Miss Taylor instead of Dr. Taylor to just piss me off, which obviously I never retaliate to because I always know when people do that, they're doing it to like try and undermine me. But like, that's how angry this guy got, that he just deliberately started like not addressing me correctly to annoy me. And I'm so glad that I just put that phone down and was just like, I'm not doing this with you. Like, we're having a conversation that is utterly ridiculous. So I actually write about that in the book, and it's in a chapter that looks at the way that police completely fail victims of stalking and some of the things that have been said to victims of stalking when they try to report and when they're trying to get police to take them seriously. Order your copy of Click, Sort, Destroy from Amazon and all independent bookstores.